to keep us in chains. By a show of hands, who else is sick and tired of the same? 1% trying to keep us small, trying to keep us from getting out. Minimizing the struggles they've caused, saying we're not working hard enough. Day after day, we're working it all away. They keep poking the bear, and they're bound to get made. So I'll raise my glass for the hard-working class. Keep your fires burning hot. We can't be silent.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the thousands in attendance and for the millions watching at home, DCK Productions proudly brings to you the greatest podcast in the world! The greatest podcast in the world? Suck it. No, you suck it. No, you suck it. No, you suck it. No, you suck it. I appreciate it if you both suck it. Suck it!
We really should stop this fighting. Otherwise, we'll miss the fireworks.
There won't be any fireworks.
And here we go. And welcome, everybody, to Suck It. I am the great and powerful King of Kings, Prince of all that is awesome. Derek, how is everybody today? On this 19th anniversary of one of the most tragic events in this country's history. I can only imagine what next year is going to be like on the 20th anniversary, but we're not going to dwell too much on that tonight because so many other people are, and we're here to have fun and laugh and, introduce new artists and, be fun. That's what I do here. So, before I do that, if anyone is watching Season 2 of The Boys on Amazon Prime and has not seen Episode 4 yet, that last 5 minutes of Episode 4 is the craziest shit I've ever seen on TV, ever. That's all I'm going to say. So prepare yourself for that last 5 minutes mentally, because it will fuck you. And I can see Natasha sitting there freaking out because she probably hasn't seen the episode yet. Sitting in my green room, flipping her hands around. But that's all I'm going to say. I just got done watching it. It was fantastic. And, yeah. Yeah. So, I hope everyone's having a great, Friday night. And we're going to take it even further, because I've got an amazing new artist on the scene. She's from Miami. She's trying to make it in there in this tough world that is music. She's got a good team behind her, and she's gonna go places. And tonight is her first first official real interview, with an awesome guy like me. So I'm glad that I get to profile such a beautiful and talented young artist on this channel, again, for the second night in a row. Last night we had, Madeline Kay from Juliana, who, by the way, they share the same guitarist and producer, these two. So, this is going to be kind of cool. Y'all met John Stewart last night. Well, John helps her as well. So this is going to be a kind of a cool little double day here. So without any further ado, I'm done talking. Please welcome to the show, Miss Nathasha Rumbos. Hey.
Yeah. Hello.
How are you?
I am great. I am fantastic after hearing The Boys, oh my God, I thought you were going to say something, and I was like,
oh, hell.
Please don't.
It has been, not even 20 hours it's been available. Why would I'm not that much of a dick to where I'm going to ruin the episode on the first day it's released.
I'm actually I'm on season 2, episode 2, and let me tell you, the first episode of season 1 I was so mind fucked, like with the whole like Rob like person exploding in the first like 6 minutes of this, and I was like, this is gonna be my show. This is gonna be my show. Yeah.
Yeah. Episode 4 was just released today, and holy crap. Whoo! Whoo! I literally got done watching it 30 minutes ago. Like, just as I was coming downstairs and doing everything, I was when I finished the episode. I mean, it's spectacular. Spectacular.
I feel like every episode somebody either like gets their hand caught off or they like explode into pieces. Like I don't even know what to expect from this like series anymore. I love it.
I've read the comic book, so it gets worse. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh. Well, I'm so glad Amazon Prime is making these series, like Netflix, like all of these companies are just like really killing it with series and movies.
Yeah, they really are.
They're taking advantage of this whole pandemic, like to the max.
Exactly. The only thing I'm not liking about what Amazon's doing this time, because last time they released it all at once, this time they're releasing it weekly. So it's like, last week they released 3 episodes, and then today they only released 1, and then 1 and 1. It's going to be like, that binging stuff, we've gotten hooked on over the last, 6 months of just being I want to watch this. And now I can't do that. So I'm a little upset.
That's what I did with Game of Thrones. I binge watched it during this time, and wow, like 8 seasons in like 3 weeks was just
I did that last year after I broke my neck, and I was just sitting at home just doing nothing. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna watch Game of Thrones because I knew the final season was coming up, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna binge watch it, and I watched it, and I got really excited for the final season, and I was let down.
Yeah, no, me too. I was so let down.
So I'm glad I only invested like 3 months of my life for this show, including the binge, and then so it wasn't that much of a letdown for me as it was everybody else in the world who watched every season as it came out. So it is what it is. But
you imagine 8 years watching that, and then you get with that finale. It's like, I was wasting 8 years of my life watching your show.
It's so bad. I mean, the one episode where they killed the king, that episode, like, there was only like 5 lines of dialogue. It was all just an hour and a half long battle scene, and then that was it. I was like, what the hell is this? Yeah. That was like some of the weirdest shit ever.
I think after so many years of like doing it, they like kind of ran out of like, what else can we do? What else can we like portray in these episodes?
Yeah, well, I think one of the biggest problems is, George R.R. Martin hadn't written the final book yet, so this was just their interpretation of what may or may not happen. Right. So he still hasn't even released a final book yet. So what he does versus what the show did will be completely different, obviously. But it's just interesting.
Yeah, clearly when like everybody was like complaining about it, he's gonna be like, I'm not gonna write what they did. Like, I'm gonna write something better.
I think they should have, collaborated with him more on that last season, but God, it was so bad. Just so bad.
But overall, I think that series is one of my top 3 series that I've watched in my lifetime. That's pretty big. Maybe not for you.
No, because I think the last season really killed it for me.
But the first 7 were just so good.
No, even the 7th season wasn't that great. The lead up to the final season was eh. I mean, season 6 was the last good season in my opinion. So I mean, it kind of went off the hills.
Who was your favorite character? It's hard.
That is a hard one. Maybe Tyrion.
Oh, yes. He is one of my... I love Tyrion. Like, at the beginning, I disliked him. But then I drew some love for him.
Well, I mean, he had a redemption story. It was all part of the, So, I mean, he's just... Plus, he's just a great actor. What's his name?
Oh, I'm really bad with like actor names.
I'm really good, and it pisses me off when this happens. Yeah, because he's just an overall great actor in general. And anyone in the comments, please tell me his name is. So I don't have to look it up. But yeah, he's just great, and he was like great in Avengers Endgame last year and everything like that. He's just a great actor. Great actor.
Oh, he was in Avengers Endgame. Now that you mention it, wow.
I remember I'm the nerd.
Yeah. I'm like, I feel like you would know that.
I'm the nerdy metalhead podcast comedian, professional wrestler, host guy thing. I don't know what I am anymore.
You do it all. You do it all.
I do, and I think I'm good at it. I don't know. Maybe, who knows? We've just been rambling for the last 12 minutes. So let's talk about you.
All right. Well,
So who the hell are you? I know who you are, but the people at home don't. So tell us about yourself.
So for everyone who's watching, thank you for tuning in. My name is Nathasha
Peter Dinklage.
Rumbos.
Peter Dinklage. Thank you, Alejandro.
Eh.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you. So I'm Nathasha Rumbos from Miami. I just launched my music career literally end of March. So right when all this craziness was happening, I decided it was a good time to just put a pedal to the metal and start my career. I started, so like my passion for music started very early, like around middle school. You're gonna have some fun with this story. So in middle school, I knew I liked music, and I was like, like I would want to try to learn an instrument. Like I always had a thing for the saxophone because I just felt like that instrument is such a sexy instrument. Like the sound it makes, it's just like it's very like nice, and I just wanted to learn the saxophone. I thought I would look pretty cool playing a saxophone. So I joined my middle school band, and I got stuck with the French horn. Do you know what a French horn is?
Yes.
Okay, so I had no idea what a French horn was. I was like, yeah, sure, a French horn, something similar to a trumpet. Yeah. So no, it definitely was not. I learned that the hard way. So, I come in, my little short self, get my little French horn, and I was like, I applaud people who can play French horn, but playing a brass instrument is just hard. Like, you have to blow a certain way to get a certain sound. And at that point when I was like in the band, I was miserable playing the French horn, and we had a vocalist who would sing all of classical music, because that's usually we do in chorus. Like in band you do like classical music. And one day I had like an epiphany, and I was looking at the girl, and like I just loved the way that she just worked the crowd. Like everybody was reacting to what she was saying, how she was singing it, and I was like, hey, like I've been told that I sing pretty good, and let me just try it. Like, why not? I know I want to do something musically, if it's either playing an instrument or singing or just anything, performing, and I gave that a shot. I ended up, when I moved to high school, I ended up joining the vocal magnet program of the chorus, and that's where my passion of music started. Like I just enjoyed that was the only class I really enjoyed going to, was my singing class. Like I would always, like, that 1 hour, I wanted it to be 8 hours, just school of music. And that's when I just started learning, how to sing, techniques and all that stuff. And then I started, one day I was like, like maybe I should try writing a song. Like, let's see how that goes. So since I couldn't play any instrument, everything is like kind of in my head, like melodies, harmonies, all that stuff. I would think about it. I knew what instruments I wanted to sound like. So it was all like a little concert in my head. And, oh my God, I just like totally went blank. Does that happen to you? Like you just go blank.
All the time.
And okay, so back. So I go and I'm writing my first song that I ever wrote. I remember one day my grandma got me really upset, and I wrote a song about how angry I was at my grandma, but it was actually a pretty good song. I actually still have the lyrics to the song that I like wrote for the first time ever. And then that's when I kind of just started like really messing around with like lyrics and what type of different songs I wanted to do. And that's how I started, growing just in artistically, like write songwriting. Songwriting is very difficult, like there's a lot of different things you have to do when it comes to songwriting. Like, do these words rhyme? Like, can these words, like, end of words rhyme? Like, does it make sense? Is it too long? Is it too short? So it's like I got a lot of practice, and I really enjoyed like the way that I started writing, and that's when I just started growing the love for it. I joined, still in chorus. I did my first, I'll never forget my first show that I did in high school. And I remember that I had the worst stomach ache because I was so nervous and my nerves would hit my stomach. So the first time that I ever sang in front of like probably like 300 people in my school, I froze. I literally like, I was like, and I walked off the stage and I was like, oh my God, like, you can do this, Natasha, get it together, come on. And I went and I started singing, and everybody was just like, Natasha, like, you really have like a voice, and you really like you're starting to build that confidence that your voice can take you somewhere. And I started believing in myself, that I'm like, hey, like, this is not a hobby, like, this is something that I really want to just mold and build and, get it rocking. The reason why, and then you're probably wondering, like, okay, so like, if you've been doing it for so long, why did you just release a song a couple months ago, like your own original song? And to answer that question, I had a little downfall when I graduated from high school. I got accepted into UM's Frost School of Music, which is a very hard school to get into. Like, the music program is like really hard to get into. Like, if you get in it, like, you must really know your shit. Yeah. So I got accepted into it. UM is a super expensive school. I didn't get the financial aid that I needed to enter, so I couldn't go. And I was like very disappointed because I was like a hurricane, like die hard, like UM. I was like, this is where I want to go. This is where I want to study music. And I couldn't go. So I ended up going to FIU. And I didn't get accepted into their music program. So I had like a breakdown. I was like, this is like the universe telling me that I'm not supposed to be doing music. And I quit music for 4 years. Like, all my college years, like, everybody who I met through my college years, nobody knew that I sang. Like, I literally just stopped singing. I was like, which is, now I look back at it, I'm like, that's so stupid. Like, why did I do that? I could have had those 4 years that I stopped singing. I could have built more on my technique. I could have, continued developing my voice. And I was just so like disappointed in those 4 years. And about a year ago, Facebook Memories, thank you, Facebook Memories, because that's the reason why I got back into music. Facebook Memories reminded me of this song that I wrote years ago, probably like 12 years ago. And it was called Party Till We Die.
Okay.
So, and I started listening, like, it just brought me back, like 10 years ago, you wrote this song or whatever. And I started listening to it, and I was like, wow, like, I kind of just got the adrenaline. I forgot what it felt like to hear my own music being like played. And that's when I was like, I was miserable where I was working. I was working a corporate job. I hated it. And I was like, is this what I'm going to do the rest of my life? Like, sit in an office, write papers, like this cannot be what life after college is going to be. And yeah. And I just decided, I was like, I listened to the song and I was like, I miss writing. I had not written in 4 years, like 4 years of not writing. And I wish I had my little writing book in front of me so I could show you, like, literally the whole book is almost written of just different songs, like from years. And that's when I was like, Natasha, like, you're miserable right now. So might as well try to make it like make your life like the way you want it to be, and just be happy doing what you want to do, which is sing.
Hmm.
And I decided to just, go for it. I was like, it's now or never. And yeah, I opened up my YouTube channel, started doing covers. I started singing with a couple cover bands around Miami, like in restaurants, which is actually pretty cool because it was like it was the first time for so many years that I hadn't performed in front of an audience. So it was something very cool for me to do and kind of get back in the groove for that.
Okay.
And that's how it all started. I ran into, no, I didn't ran into, like literally ran to, but John Stewart, which you had mentioned, I actually connected with him through Facebook because he was looking for a vocalist for one of his country songs that he had written. And that's when we both connected. And he was like, he was like, I'm looking for a Latin singer, and I really like I like how your voice is. I like how you portray yourself. I like how you perform. Like, let's see what we can work with. And that's how it happened. Like, I came into the studio one day, I sang the song he wanted me to sing, and he really liked what I was doing. And he was like, yo, like, I have a Latin song that I wrote. Like, I'll give it to you, and let's see what you can write lyrically, and let's see what works. And then, listen, we've recorded at least like 5 songs together, and 3 of them are released right now, and it's been going good. Like, I've been getting really good feedback, and I'm just like I'm really proud of myself that I kind of just, decided to kick myself in the butt and be like, Natasha, you're good, you're talented, like, go ahead. Like, if everybody in this world can do what they want to do. If you want to be a doctor, you want to be a musician, you want to be an actor, like, you work at it and you're gonna get there. And that's I guess I needed to have that mentality, like that change in how I was thinking. And I'm pretty happy with what I've done. I'm such a happier person. I used to be miserable, you understand? Like, I used to get home and I would just like be so sad about like what I would do during my day. Like, now during my day, all I do is like sing, like write songs, like covers, and I'm like the happiest person. Like, I might not be rich, but I am so rich in happiness that I'm like just pretty happy about what I'm doing right now, and I'm
Isn't
excited.
that all that matters? I mean, that's all that matters. I mean,
Exactly.
And the thing about it is, like, you said it yourself. I mean, you let the fact that the college stuff, just kind of ruin, your whole mentality about things. And I mean, why is my question? Why did you let something like that deter you?
I just felt like I just had so many people that were like, oh, like, why are you gonna do music? Like, why why are you gonna waste money going to school doing music? Like, I at that point in life, I didn't have so much support. Like, the only person that was supporting me was my mom. Like, she's my number one fan, like number one everything. She was always like, listen, like, do what you want to do. Like, if it's not like accounting or whatever, if it's music, like, I will support you in any way. Like, it's okay if you're not making money, like, don't worry, like, I will help you. And I guess I needed more of that back in the day. And I think I was like 17, 18. I guess I didn't have that strong mentality of just like, yo, like, don't let what people are telling you, like, affect what you're doing. So it sucks that I did just like let it go. But
Yeah.
I guess things happen for a reason. I mean, probably there's like a few things that maybe like during those 4 years, I could have done other things, or maybe I would have never met, John or anybody else that has helped me now. So I guess, everything happens for a reason. And I'm really like, I'm only 25, so I would say I'm still young. I'm still pretty young to start music, and I just think it's a good time right now for me to just start.
I mean, 100%. This time in this country, or in the world, I should say, is a good time for a reset. And taking something that you're passionate about and no time like the present, especially now. I mean, the only way we can get music is by watching it online or listening to it through our Amazon or Spotify or Apple Music accounts or whatever. And, if you're going to do it, now is the time to do it. So, I commend you on that. I mean, it's also a toughest time to probably do it too, because everyone else is doing it too. But at the same time, when you've got the backer of somebody like John, who, is a movie legend as far as stunts go, everything from Ferris Bueller's Day Off to Power Rangers to his own freaking movie about his life, and then the PR team and stuff like that, you've got the right people behind you. So we're going to go more into all of that here in a second. But first, I'm going to go ahead and embarrass you.
Oh.
And we're going to go ahead and play a song.
Which one are you going to play?
I don't know yet. Which one do you think I should play?
Ooh, I personally love Échate Pa' Allá, which is the one that I took out like 2 months ago. That's one of my favorites. And
Okay.
Gózala. So I'll let you choose.
Well, we're gonna play all 3 of the videos that you have.
Oh.
We're gonna play all 3 songs throughout this interview, because this whole thing is, I'm gonna profile you. I'm your megaphone, because when this goes on my podcast tonight and tomorrow, over the next 2 weeks, it's gonna be heard by 25,000 people.
Well.
So, yeah, because I get 500,000 downloads a month. So you're starting off right. So I'm gonna profile the shit out of you, and we're gonna embarrass you a little bit, and we're gonna play, however you say this name. How do you say it again?
Which one?
The Paya one.
Échate Pa' Allá.
Fantastic.
Move over. That's what it means.
Okay. It's sad. Before I moved to Virginia, I lived in Florida. I lived in the Orlando area for damn near 30 years.
Oh, wow.
And I saw the Hispanic community growing and growing and growing and growing. And my dumbass never said, maybe I need to learn,
Spanish.
especially at the time, I was a professional wrestler and I was also a manager for Walmart. So I'm like, all my people, all my associates below me are Hispanic. Maybe I should. And I never did. And I regret that, very badly. Especially when I meet somebody like Madeline last night, who is, just, your everyday average Caucasian who now sings Hispanic music for, I'm like, what am I doing with my life?
Like, did I not learn anything when I was in Walmart hearing all these Spanish people come in? Like,
No, I literally walked around with my freaking Android and Google freaking Translate just to make sure sometimes. Again, horrible idea. Don't do that. Invest in like Duolingo or freaking, whatever. But damn it.
I've heard Duolingo actually really works. Like, my grandma
And it's free.
learns English from that. Yeah.
And it's free. That's that's the cool thing about it. My wife does it all the time. Even my 10-year-old daughter is doing it. But we won't go there because Derek's an idiot. Derek's been dropped on his head and hit with too many steel chairs in his lifetime to really learn anything new.
My God. Which makes you unique.
No, there's lots of people just like me out in this world. All right, let's go ahead and play this song and go ahead and highlight you a little bit here.
All right.
Damn it, Jessica! And why is she coming over here? You wanna ignore me? You wanna ignore me? Now my phone!
That was your phone, and that was your friend.
Oh, just buy me a new phone, babe.
Here we go. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I see the way other girls are looking at you. It's a joke how much you look for this attention. I'm a very possessive type of girl. into your head that he's just so not into you. I'm sorry, but you gotta let it go. No te toca a ti estar con él. Tranquila que no es el fin del mundo. I bet you didn't know that your name is not on his phone. You're just an unknown number to him. Do you even have him on your Instagram? If you did, you would have seen me all over it. No entiendo por qué sigues buscándolo. Ahora tú pareces desesperada. Yo sé que él tiene la chispa para atraparte, pero amor, ya él tiene su dueña. Did you know that you were just happy? It's been a week since you left your red. I don't know about you, but he ain't coming back. ¿No te acuerdas cuando me viste con él? Te sacaste ni medio de paro. Esa fue tu pista para irte. Échate pa' allá. Move on over. Échate pa' allá. Move on over. Is it hard to get it into your head that he's just so not into you? I'm sorry, but you gotta let it go. No te toca a ti estar con él. Tranquila que no es el fin del mundo. Did you know that you were just happy? It's been weeks since he left you on red. I don't know about you, but he ain't coming back. ¿No te acuerdas cuando me viste con él? Te sacaste ni medio de paro. Esa fue tu pista para irte. Échate pa' allá. Move on over. Échate pa' allá. Move on over. Is it hard to get it into your head that he's just so not into you? I'm sorry, but you gotta let it go. No te toca a ti. Aléjate, aléjate. Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Wait, Derek, I can't hear you.
Oh, that was me. I muted myself. My bad.
Oh,
I
there you
double
go.
muted myself. That was weird. So we need to change the name of that song to "Don't Fuck with Latin Women."
You would okay, so I'm gonna tell you the backstory of this song.
But so hold on a second. So for those of you at home who are listening to the podcast on your way to work or on your way home or whatever the case might be, and did not see that video and just heard the song, she's gonna describe it now. However, click the link in the description of the video and of the podcast and go watch this video and you'll see what I'm talking about. But go ahead with your explanation there.
So this song I wrote for my boyfriend's ex-girlfriend. She was like a little too extra. Like she was just like really like contacting him often, and I was just like she was the inspiration of that song that I wrote. Like that's why it's called Échate pa' allá, like move over, because like she kept on texting him and stuff like that, and I'm like, dude, like your name is not even on his number on his phone anymore, like back the fuck up. And let me tell you, like that song, and usually for me songs, like it takes a while for me to write, but this song I was just so inspired. Literally in 2 hours, those lyrics, I was like, wow, I'm banging these lyrics out, because yo, man, I appreciate that girl, because that girl really made me write a really good song. So
well, let me just say, yeah. So, however, just your average dude watching that video would make the average guy say, okay, I'm not gonna date a Latin woman. Now, I'm not gonna go ahead and you played into the stereotype big time with that one.
Oh.
You did. Oh yeah. And I've dated Latin girls before, so I know.
We're crazy.
Not all.
Not all. but the
Most?
majority are crazy. Like they really
not
are.
crazy, passionate.
Yes.
There we go.
We are very passionate ladies, but we do get crazy. And I mean that video shows it all. And that video, John was the one that put that video together. And I was like, okay, this is what the song is about. And then he's like, all right, I got you. And then when I saw the video, I was like, this is just perfect because it just resemble everything that I was saying. Like, move over, like she's not in, like he's not into you, like, you know, like back up. Like I was like, wow, like this was just, I couldn't have like made this video any better, John. Like I was like so happy with the video. It was a fun video. It's a very fun video. I feel like a lot of people can relate to it, like in relationships, like, you know, if you are dating a crazy Latina or just somebody who's if you have a friends with benefits, and you know how, you know, that question that you get is like, okay, so like what are we friends, are we together?
The talk,
you know. The talk. So I feel like a lot of people can relate to that song because it's like, the song is from a girl's perspective, obviously, that she's just like, you know, I want to be the main chick, I don't want to be the side hoe anymore. Drops the mic.
I can't. It's connected to a boom.
But yeah, that is the backstory of how that song got made.
Is this guy still your boyfriend?
Oh yes, we've been together for 3 years.
Okay.
And he's so supportive. When I showed him the song, he was like, "Is this about Carla?" And I was like, "Yeah." Can you tell? He really liked it. He really liked the song. He's like, I was like, well, I gotta thank Karlov, you know, for that.
One thing for sure though, is the whenever I bring on a new artist that I'm, you know, trying to profile, I don't listen to their music beforehand. I like to listen to it live on the show and give my honest feedback right from the beginning. Therefore, you get a genuine reaction and not just something I thought about all day. How can I put this politely? You know, no,
Right.
It's genuine and real. And I am not in any which way, shape, or form an enjoyer of pop music, or, you know, or any type of, you know, music that is not rock. However, when I find something I genuinely enjoy, I can listen to it all the time. And, you know, with the music video along with it, that song was really fun to listen to and really fun to, you know, watch. And it was really, really catchy. It had a good lick to it. It had, you know, you could hear during the chorus, you could hear the passion in your voice and the words that you were singing. And I like that. 'Cause sometimes what will happen is you'll get in there, you'll get into a booth and you'll sing your brains out, and there's a verse or a chorus or just a simple line in there that you're really, really, truly passionate about. And sometimes it doesn't come in on key. Sometimes it comes off as like a scream or just a verbal, like, you know, just letting all of your emotions out. And when sometimes, you know, the musical engineer will go, "Oh, that was off. Let me go ahead and auto-tune that." Or, "Hey, go ahead again," or whatever the case might be. And not that you were off key in that, but you could hear the passion, you know, especially that first chorus. You heard it, you're like, holy shit, because you changed the whole tempo and the tone right with that first chorus, and then you kind of dropped it back down, and then you went back and do it again. But it was you could hear the passion, and I love that kind of stuff. That's what's awesome about that.
Oh, I'm so glad you liked it. Thank you. I mean, I'm telling you, I was very inspired. When you get inspired, like, that's when your best work comes out. Honestly.
100%.
Like
100%.
And I always have like a little ritual, like before, like when I'm writing, I always have to have my little sangria on the side to, you know, get the creative juices flowing. And, you know, with all that inspiration, I had a lot of energy, a lot of feeling. Like I was in that, in that position before. So I felt like that made it, kind of easier for me to relate and connect with the song. So I'm so glad. Thank you for giving me that feedback. I love hearing either constructive criticism or just really good feedback. That definitely will help me grow as an artist and perfect the genre that I'm attacking right now.
Yeah.
So thank you, Derek.
You're more than welcome. So let's go ahead and remember earlier when we were talking before the show started, and I told you you're never going to experience another show like mine.
Yes.
This is where that happens.
Oh, all right. I'm ready.
So we've talked about your music. We've talked about that song. We're going to play another song here in a moment. But I want to know who the real Nathasha is. Obviously, you've dealt with struggle in your life. We all have. But where does that struggle for you come from? What is like your biggest motivator? What was that thing? Obviously, you went through a big 4-year gap with music, and there was a lot of, but prior to that, and then up to this point, there's always other things going on in your life that really kind of make you who you are. What is that for you?
Ooh, wow, Derek. You put me on the spot right there.
That's what I do.
Well, honestly, the biggest motivator for me is I want to, like, when I'm older, I really want to look back. Like, when I'm in my, when it's my time to go into wherever I go, heaven, I want to look back at my life and I want to be like, I really enjoyed every single second of my life. I gave it my all with, like, all the passion that I can give to what I really wanted to do. I think when I was working that 1 year in corporate, I think that really motivated me to, like, really push on what I wanted to do, because I imagined myself like 5 years later, like doing what I was doing in corporate, which was just answering phone calls, doing like writing press releases and stuff. And I was like, I honestly, my stomach cringed at just thinking that my future was just going to be like that. And I want my life to be, worthwhile, like, just like all of these different things happening, like with music. Like, once I make it, like, I'm huge on in manifesting. So when I make it into the music world, I really want, I making it worth it. I really want to make it worth it. I really want to pretty much, not convince myself, but oh my god, what's it called? I really want to prove to myself that I can do what I'm put my mind to. Like, I know that I want to sell out a Madison Square Garden one day, and I want to be in that position. Like, when it does happen, I want to be like, you know what? Like, I did it. Like, my sweat and tears and blood and all that stuff. Like, I did it. I want, like, my biggest motivation is to prove to myself that I can do it. Like, sometimes it is easy in music when they grow up with a family that either has money or has connections, and it's just easier for you to get into the music industry. But I don't have any of that. I don't have anyone in the music industry that can, put me in there or have money like that to pay people to, like, promote, Nathasha. So I want to prove myself that, like, prove to me and to prove other people that, like, if that's what you want to do and you have the talent, like, you go for it. You work hard for it, and it's gonna happen. It really is gonna happen. You really got to believe in yourself. That's the biggest motivation to me, is to prove that to myself and to make my mom proud. She's made a lot of sacrifices for me to live my music dream. Like, right now, I live with her, and she pretty much pays the rent. Like, I work at a restaurant. I'm a bartender on the side, and I used to work in radio here in Miami. Well, I still work, but there's nothing really happening at the moment. I work events, so I did a lot of brand ambassador for 4 radio stations here in Miami. So she could have been like a parent that could be like, like, this doesn't make you money. Like, you'll probably not make it. So, like, work your corporate job. Like, don't quit your job. So I want to I want to prove to her that her sacrifices were worthwhile in the end. Like that is my biggest motivation, is to like make her proud, because she freaking loves my music. I take her everywhere to the recording studio. I take her because she loves being part of the process, and she's my biggest motivation. Like, that woman I freaking love, and she's one of the reasons why I'm like, Natasha, you need to do it. You need to do it for yourself and for her, because she's sacrificed a lot of stuff for you to be able to continue with your dream of being an artist. So yeah, wow, I got a little teary-eyed there for a second, but
My goal is to make every guest cry.
yo, I'm a Pisces, so I can cry for literally anything. I'm a very emotional person, and my mom is a single mom, so for a single mom to sacrifice a lot for their child to really live their dream is like, come on, like I really have to make it for her, and for me. So I know she's on literally in the living room watching it through her phone. So I just want to tell you, Mom, I love you. You're a rock star, and thank you for giving birth to a rock star in the making.
Yeah, because and the reason why I asked that question and got deep like that is because the thing about it is, so one of the things on my show that separates me from everybody else is the fact that I'm not just a talk show. I'm not just a celebrity interview show or future celebrity interview show or whatever you want to call it, and not just a comedy show, because I tell a lot of jokes as well. But I'm also a mental health show. I suffer from bipolar disorder, severe anxiety, and I've survived 2 suicide attempts. And one of the things that I love to highlight on this show is struggle. Because there's a shit ton of people that listen to this show that struggle just like I do. And the whole idea behind the way I do it on the show is to let people like them know that they're not alone. That the people that are famous or up and coming or whatever the case might be struggle just like they do. And that is like a big, huge motivator for a lot of people, to know that they're not alone. And to hear, any type of struggle at all, whether it's just the littlest thing of any type of stress or any type of thing like that, just lets people know that they're not alone. And I'm glad that you were able to share that with me. And, I'm sure your mom struggled a lot. You basically just said it. So, but again, we bend over backwards for our kids. And then when they stop bending over for us, we want to throw them out the window, but still, my 10-year-old is the biggest little asshole in the entire planet. And I say that lovingly because she's my mini-me. And she's tapped into the part of the brain that mimics everything I do.
Oh.
And so she's become me, and it annoys the shit out of my wife, which I think is hilarious. But she'll use it against me too, and that's when things go crazy. But that's why I want to kind of toss her out the window every once in a while.
But with love.
With love. And then I have an 18-year-old that that doesn't live with me anymore, but yeah, she's there too. The things parents do for their children is remarkable. So, I'm glad that you're giving back to your mom. I'm hoping one day that all of this comes back to me, because, I'm waiting for that day. But I don't know if they're going to live that long.
Yo, Derek, I can't.
See, we went sad, and I brought it back up a little bit. That's what we do. It's a roller coaster ride.
It's like you're riding the Aerosmith roller coaster in Disney.
That is the one thing I miss about Florida. Is Disney. Is Disney. Yep.
I actually went to Disney 2 weeks ago. Very interesting with the whole pandemic thing, wearing masks And let me tell you how hot it was over there. I feel like Orlando is like the hottest like place in Florida, like
Yep.
hotter than Miami.
Yeah.
It was so hot.
Because you got the coast on both sides, and you know, then you got a shit ton of rivers and lakes and, you know, everything, you know, right there. Especially like as you go further east, you know, past, you know, Orlando into Seminole County area, stuff like that, where you have the St. John's and all that other stuff. It's just so humid.
So humid.
You walk outside and you're immediately drenched in water, and it's not sweat, it's just the humidity, and don't miss it at all. Oh.
Yeah, it was a harsh day to be out there. Like, imagine drinking and having that mask on,
of course, yeah.
and that hotness. Like, oh my god! Like, my boyfriend almost passed out like that day, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh, we gotta either, like, you know, stop drinking or maybe go into some shade, because I can't have you pass out here in Disney.
Yeah. See, the thing about it is with Disney, you got to be walking around, you know, with a beer and a water at all times. Otherwise, it's you're done. I mean,
Yeah.
even if you're sitting down inside of a air conditioning building, it's still hot as balls in that. I can't do it. I miss it, you know, because I walk through the gates of the Magic Kingdom and I feel like a 5-year-old again.
Oh my god!
You know,
Literally.
but the heat, I can't do it. Can't do it. Yeah, just can't do it.
And the mosquitoes too.
Yeah. You know, what was it? Tuesday. Oh shit! I forgot to turn off my phone. Tuesday, Monday, whatever day it was. I get up and I drive to the store, and the leaves are already starting to change color here. We haven't broken 80 all week, and it's like, yes, fall is here.
Oh,
Still in the high 70s, but still, you know, so it's a little warm. So it's like, okay, not cold enough to open up the windows yet, but it's about, we're a couple weeks away from that, and I cannot wait. The leaves are already starting to turn and fall, but
I have yet to experience watching like leaves turn. That here you don't see it, but I've been wanting to go to like places like where you live to see that happening like right on the spot, because the pictures that I've seen are so beautiful of seeing all the trees turn, like, you know, their autumn colors. So you're so lucky that you get to have that.
It is some of the most beautiful stuff ever. Yeah, it really truly is. I love it. I look forward to this time of year every year, and I look forward to our first snowstorm every year.
I don't know about snow.
I'm originally from Ohio. We moved to Florida when I was 8, but I was originally from, you know, right outside of Cleveland, right on Lake Erie. And if you've ever paid attention to weather patterns at all, there's something that happens in the Great Lakes area called lake effect snow. So anything that comes from Canada over those Great Lakes gets worse because of the water. And then as soon as it gets away from the water, it just dumps pounds and pounds of snow every minute. It's ridiculous.
Oh my god.
And that's what I was used to growing up. And then, so I was built for the snow, you know, and spending almost 30 years of my life in Florida before moving here, you know, 28 years, whatever it was, 25 years, whatever, there, I hated every minute of it. And the first winter we were here, I was just like,
like, yes, winter is coming.
yeah. In the good way, not the Game of Thrones way.
Yeah.
Shitty ass fucking show.
White Walkers.
I'm waiting for the walkers, you know, White Walker, you know, zombie, whatever you want to call them, apocalypse, you know, because then I'm going to have some fun.
Oh, like for real, like in real life?
For like real.
Like Zombieland?
Hell, oh God, yes. Or Walking Dead, however you want to, whatever image you have. Now, if it was more like Zombieland, that'd be even more fun, because I would go find Woody Harrelson and we'd go Twinkie hunting in a heartbeat.
The Twinkies.
but you know, I look forward to that day too, because that's, you know, that's my jam right there.
That's a scary day. I don't know about zombies. Maybe aliens, but I don't know about how to feel about zombies in real life.
The aliens are already here. Look at our government.
True. True.
We won't go into conspiracy theories
Yeah.
because Derek will make shit up just to make himself smart. All right, let's play another song.
Ooh, let's play Gozala. I also have a fun backstory on that one. Not as fun as Échate pa' allá, but it was inspired in Colombia.
Okay. Well, we're gonna go ahead and play it, and then I want to hear your backstory.
All right.
All right.
I'm having such a blast on your show.
Well, I appreciate that.
We've been talking for almost an hour, and I feel like it's been
5 minutes.
Yeah.
That's how it usually goes, which I love. Here we go.
Hey, this party's looking a little stiff, Cole.
So what are you saying? Maybe they amp it up?
You could try, but this crowd doesn't dance before midnight.
Okay.
Llegó el sábado y es noche de rumbear. Y agarremos al crew que el piso va a temblar. No hay tiempo para preguntar quién va a ir, porque importa es que yo voy contigo sin ti. Anótate para una noche de pura calentura. Trae tus chicos para mis chicas, no te me olvides del Malibu. Disfruta la vida sin compromiso, arriba la gozadera. Ven aquí. Dame bailar es como yo me desquido de la mala vibra que la gente va hablando. Siempre ando moviéndome como Shakira, para vivirla hay que gozarla. Como dice Barranquilla, anótate pa' una noche de pura calentura. Trae tus chicos para mis chicas, no te me olvides del Malibu. Disfrutar la vida sin compromiso, arriba la gozadera. Deja que te guíe a la felicidad. Con mi ritmo de bailar, yo sé que andas curioso. Anótate, anótate pa' una calentura. Trae tus chicos para mis chicas, no te olvides del Malibu. A disfrutar la vida sin compromiso, arriba la gozadera. A gozar esta vida sin mirar atrás. Este baile puede ser el último de mí. Gózala, gózala, vacila, vacila. Gózala, gózala y vacila. I was like, are you muted?
We both were.
Oh, okay.
Because of this platform, whenever I play share a screen, it doesn't automatically mute us, so you can still hear us talking if you sneezed or whatever else.
Oh.
That was a good one too. So, first thing I noticed was the fact that the last song we played versus what this song it was. You know, you sung that last song in a little bit of English and in Spanish. This one was all Spanish. So what is your where you want to go? You know, as far as you know, how you want to proceed. Are you going to continually do both, or what are you going to do?
So I think just gonna do Spanish, just completely Spanish. I was testing out the bilingual because it is nowadays there are a lot of songs that have some little bit of Spanish, a little bit of English, like mixed in between. That's kind of like a trend that's going on right now. But I think I'm gonna stick with just Spanish throughout the whole song.
Do you think you're limiting yourself with that?
Like limiting?
Yeah.
Well, yes. That's why I'm like a little bit iffy on it, because then, like, you know, people who don't speak Spanish won't understand what I'm saying. But then again, you know, Shakira has so many, you know, fans that don't speak Spanish, but they love what she sings. And, you know,
do they really wait? Do they love the way she sings, or do they love the way she shakes her ass? See, there's a difference there with Shakira because you don't know.
True. I would have to, you know, contact her on my phone list and be like, Shakira,
No, she knows how to exploit what she's got. So you know, that's a little bit of a different scenario there.
But yeah, I think I am limiting if I just do Spanish. That's why I kind of wanted to test out the bilingual first, and because Gozala, the one that we just played, was the first song I released ever. So that was my first song, and that's why I was bilingual, because I just kind of wanted to test the waters. And then but the rest of my songs have all been Spanish. Okay. So I don't know. I really like the bilingual because, you know, you're listening to Spanish and it's like, oh, it goes to English. So it gives it like a, you know, something that you don't expect.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, if you, there's a joke in my head and I'm debating on whether or not to tell it. Screw it. You know, you could, you know, if you take a look at someone like Selena, you know, she was, you know, did all Spanish and then she went, you know, English, and then, you know, we all see how well that worked for her. There was a joke.
Their songs are still playing 20 years later, so
I know that the joke was, you know, that worked out so well that, you know, she got murdered in the process. Yeah. But it's not too soon. It's been like almost 30 years. I can make that joke.
It's okay.
Fine. It's fine.
No harm done.
But so I mean, you know, because I mean, I wanted to ask this last night of John too, because I mean, like, what he's doing with his band Juliana, he wants to keep it strictly Spanish, and you know, with someone like you who has a beautiful voice and has got rhythm and talent, and the same thing with Madeline, you know, she's got that same type of thing. And I'm not gonna, you know, tell him what, because that dude is a legend. I just don't, you know, I think it's too limiting. You know, I don't care what, you know, what you do. I mean, but I see so much more potential in doing both, because I think you're going to grab a lot of attention that way.
I agree. I totally agree. I'm trying to think if I have another. I think the rest of the songs that I have are all Spanish.
And there's nothing wrong with that. If that was what you chose to do, that's what you chose to do. That's where your heart is. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, I'm just playing devil's advocate over here. Don't let me play with your mind. My job is to, you know, to get answers. Regardless of whether I agree with what I'm asking or not, I'm gonna ask it. That's one thing about me. You know, I'll ask the questions that other people won't ask because they're too afraid to. I'm like, well, I don't necessarily believe this, but I'm gonna ask it anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just think, you know, there, you know, because that first song, you know, that mix of, you know, both was really, and you did it so well. You had it. It was very seamless. It was very, very seamless.
It's like, wait, she's speaking another language. That's how
Um,
seamless it was.
but you did it well, and like I said, you couldn't even tell. And I think, for non-English, excuse me, non-Spanish speakers that are following your music, it gives them a better opportunity to understand what's going on
Hmm.
and maybe pick up on, a word here or a word there along with the English. Okay, I know what's going on here. Um, Again, that's just my opinion. But
I agree though. I like the bilingual more. I really do. But that's the only song that I've written bilingual. I haven't written another bilingual song yet.
yeah.
But I really like the mix of English and Spanish. I feel like it's just more more catching, like two languages in one song is pretty cool.
Yeah, it really is. But I mean, like I said, to be totally honest with you, again, I'm a metal guy. I mean, there's a Puerto Rican metal band called Puya, and they sing in nothing but Spanish, and I have no idea what they're saying, but they fucking
But you
rock
like
hard.
it.
It's awesome. So,
Yeah.
so I know there's an audience for that. And again, but again, it's like I know they're coming out with some English stuff as well. So it's like, there's always that room, but don't let me or anybody else deter you away from what your heart desires. If you want to do both, do fucking both. If you want to do one or the other, whatever you choose, just let it be yours.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully John stays by your side because he won't let this happen. But God forbid anything happens and you don't. If you ever get picked up by a major label, do not let their grubby little hands change you.
Oh yeah, change the sound. That's usually what record labels do. They're like, oh yeah, we like what you're doing, and then they but can you do this and this and this and this, and then completely change your whole entire sound? Yeah,
Really,
I've,
it really
I've
does.
heard, and John has told me that has happened.
It happens all the time.
Before, so he's always like, be very aware about record labels because they just like to change your sound.
Yeah. Right now, I think with the way music is right now, I think you could have a good living being an indie artist as long as you make connections.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, nobody's making. I don't care if you're on an indie. I don't care if you're on a major record label or not. You're not making money off of album sales. You're not making money off of downloads. You're not making anything because it doesn't matter what you have, who you are. If you're on Spotify and you have 1 million downloads, that's $5,000. That's it.
Yep.
So, but even then, only 1 to 3% are hitting that 1 million mark on any one song. So that your money's in touring. So again, that's where the connections come in,
Yeah.
and you can blow yourself up if you've got the right connections. So I personally think indie is the way to be and to stay because that's your genuine who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And that'll give you the best opportunity to really shine on your own.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited to be able to tour whenever this whole thing blows over because I really want to do like a local show here in Miami, trying to get my name around here in Miami and kind of just build from that. I've been wanting to do a show for like ever since I released my first song. I'm like, yo, I'm ready to sing this in front of people.
Yeah.
And I feel like touring, I've never toured, but I'm pretty sure touring is like tiring, but like the funnest time of your life. And you get to grow as an artist. Like you get to deal with a lot of things you've never dealt before. And you're like, wow, like this is cool. This is interesting. Like,
yeah, I mean, now touring is fun the first couple times, but then eventually takes a toll. The actual tour itself takes a toll. The stinky bus, the broken TVs inside of your dressing room, the stained carpets, the whole 9 yards. It takes a toll. Living out of a hotel room, living out of a, suitcase takes its toll. What is the key though? And I can tell you this from experience. Is that first moment you walk out on stage.
the whole
Yeah. And the first time you go out there, they're probably not going to know who the hell you are.
Yeah.
Which is fine because
Which is okay.
exactly, which is 100% okay because then the second part of what you're doing. So once you make a name for yourself, that first moment you walk out on stage, it makes it all worth it. But if you're unknown and they have no idea who you are and they kind of give you a, oh yeah, okay, cool, just that guilty clap. Or that sympathy clap, oh, we don't know who she is, but let's go ahead and give her,
Yeah.
That reaction after you end your first song, if you get the reaction that you intended for that song, whether it's a tear, whether it's a smile, whether it's a dance, whatever the case might be, if you get that reaction from one person at the end of your first song, anywhere you go, and they don't know who you are, then it makes it all worth it. When I was a musician and I was touring, or whether I was a wrestler and I was performing, or even when I do stand up now, the reaction from the crowd is everything. And when you can manipulate that crowd, because that's exactly what it is, it's a manipulation, to give you the exact same reaction that you want in every single town, you know that you're connecting with that crowd. Mm-hmm. You know that you have them exactly where you want them, and they're going to give them exactly what they want. So that is like the biggest thing to learn right there, is that crowd connection. And it's the toughest thing to learn too. And I'm just telling you straight up, that is the toughest thing to do, because there's a difference between being an entertainer and being an artist. Artists go into the soundproof booth, sing a song, play a guitar, whatever the case might be, and then just go out on the stage and play and hope that they like it. Mm-hmm. But there's an entertainer. The entertainer meticulously writes everything, does everything, listens to every freaking beat right there along with the sound engineer. Oh, I don't like that. Oh, no. We're going to do it this way. No, we're going to, and then argues and then goes up on stage, and you can feel the electricity coming off that person's body. And when you do that, that's when you're an entertainer. And those are the people that are successful.
I agree. If you don't the last concert I went to was J Balvin. I'm not sure if you know who J Balvin is. No. Well, he's like a huge reggaeton artist. Like he's like popping, like he's like freaking huge. So I saw him in Colombia in February, and the crowd, like the energy of the crowd when this guy was on stage, like even I got goosebumps just imagining myself in his position, like just like everybody was just screaming his name, and it was like, wow, like this is I can't even imagine the adrenaline that this guy is having at this point of the show. Out. Like it's just like I literally would like I was like closing my eyes. I was like, yo, like I imagined just hearing what I was hearing and just imagining myself, and I'm like, this is like the best feeling that a singer, an entertainer, anyone could just like be at the moment.
It is.
So yes, I definitely agree with you that I mean, when I was in cover bands and I used to sing at restaurants, we did have we always had a little crowd, and we always vibed off what the crowd was vibing. And when it was like really good vibes, like you could feel it in the whole band, like that everybody was just like connecting and everybody was dancing, and it's like, all right, like you're with it. Like you are making these people want to dance and have a good time. And that's all about it. Like I always think about whenever I do start touring, like I want my songs, like I want my concert to be a party. Like I want people to be dancing all the time, having a good time, like having a drink, like, woo, that's how I want my concerts to be. Like for a time for people to go and in those 2-3 hours, like forget like the struggle or anything that you're dealing with in your life. Just, enjoy yourself. Yeah. And that's what I want to do with my music, is just create fun music, from either experiences that I've dealt with or just things that I've seen from my friends or just, life in general, and try to make it fun. Try to, I want to be like, it's a, you've probably noticed like the 2 songs that we played are very dancey, and
Mhm.
I really want my songs to always be dancey. I mean, there is gonna be a ballad, you know, like you always gotta have like a
Of course.
in between song to like cool down the crowd, like give them a breather. But the majority of my songs, I definitely want it to be like always like, you know, like a good time. Like you could play some beer pong with it, you could throw a house party at Getty, and just really all about good vibes
Yeah.
in this place.
Yeah. I mean, the last show that I saw, God, it's been a year now. Damn, I cannot believe it's been a year since I've been to a concert. Was Slipknot, and it's, you know, they're one of the biggest bands in the world, period, of all genres, and there's just an electricity, you know, you just can't get it anywhere else than being up on stage or being even been in a crowd. You just feel it, and if you're not feeling it, then there's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
But, I mean, because music is just so uniting. It really, really is.
Like you don't have to understand what the person is saying, but you just like feel it. You just feel it. Yeah.
Yep.
That's what I love about music. That's what I was like, yo, I'd rather be doing this than writing press releases for like whatever the hell I was writing press releases for back in the day. Like I want to connect with people. I want to, you know, be able to just spread my music and just like, yo, like have a good time. Like just like what Gozala is about. Literally enjoy your life. Don't hold back. Don't let people tell you what you have to do and what you can do and all that stuff. Like just be you, do you, and enjoy your life. That's what life is about. You gotta enjoy. Life is too short to be doing what people think you should be doing. You know, you gotta be doing what makes you happy. And I learned that the hard way, but
we all do.
Yeah, that's what it is.
All right, let's play another one. Let's do Me Salvaste.
Yeah, Me Salvaste.
I totally butchered that.
That's actually but hey, I could understand. You know, if I could understand what you're trying to tell me, I'd be like, "Oh, Me Salvaste." Yeah.
That's it. All right, let's go ahead and play it.
All right. Hey, it's Natasha. We're on our set right now to film the video for Me Salvaste, and you know we're all in quarantine, so there's very limited places that we can shoot. So we're working with what we got, and I hope you guys like it.
Sentir tu mirar de la mañana me da cosquillas en la panza. Yo no quiero despertarme de este sueño.
And there you go. That was the ballad. I told you needed to have a
You need that.
chill,
Exactly.
chill song.
That was a beautiful song. One thing I gotta go ahead and give John credit to though. You know, in this time of quarantine and all the social distancing and everything closed down or whatever the case might be, John is such a smart guy because he recycled a lot of footage, between your music videos and the stuff for Juliana. So that was really smart of him, especially the stuff of him, which just makes sense.
Yeah.
So that was really good, especially at a cost saving measure. Plus, it just, with all of his history with movies and TV, I'm sure he misses it. So this is his way of expressing himself now too.
Yeah, he loves doing the music videos. Like,
yeah.
I mean, that's it. That's his first passion was being a director.
Oh yeah.
So he really like puts it all in, like when he does his music videos, and they're creative. I mean, we were in quarantine when we shot those videos. Like literally, it closed everything down, and we didn't really have anywhere to shoot. So that's why, like, in the second video was just me in an alley, because that was like probably the only place we could shoot a scene, and he kind of just made it work with all the other footage that he used. So it's very creative, and he knows what he's doing.
I would love to hear a duet with you and Madeline.
Oh, that would be cool. We did do when we first met. We were meeting because I needed someone to do harmonies, like if we ever did like a local show. When we do a local show, backup singer. So we did do some harmonies together, and both of our voices are very nice match together. So definitely, I think that can be a thing.
I think that would be a great thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I think you two would complement each other a lot. Now, yeah, definitely, 100%. Just throwing that out there.
John, if you're listening or watching,
just one song, not a bunch. Definitely don't make it a thing. Just a one. Oh, I think it would be, yeah, absolutely.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. You get a double thumbs up from me on that one. You are awesome. It's been an hour and 25 minutes almost. And you said it your best yourself. It felt like 5 minutes.
For real.
We've talked a lot. We joked around. We had some fun, and we learned a lot about who you are as a person, as an artist. And once you figure out your path, as far as, your overall everything, because, it was March, so it's only been 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
Your path is still wide open. You've got 10 different roads to choose from. Whatever you choose, and whenever you find that real sound of yours, because it's gonna morph over the next couple of years. You will know no limits. The sky's the limit. That's a bullshit term. No, you're gonna go. You will go beyond that, and I have a firm belief in that. And if you ever quit music again, if your mom doesn't talk you out of it, I'm gonna fly my ass to Miami, and I'm gonna talk your ass out of it, because that's.
No, I did that once. I'm not doing that again.
Good.
No way.
Because you know what, you have a beautiful soul and a beautiful voice, and even though in some of those parts you were wearing sunglasses or a lot of those things, you can still see every expression on your face. And when you weren't wearing sunglasses in those videos, you can see the passion and love in your eyes just sparkle. And it takes a true talent to be able to do that, and especially so early on in your career. So again, you know no limit. The sky is not the limit for you. You can go above that, and I firmly believe that.
Thank you, Derek. That warms my heart. I'm glad that I give that that vibe. I'm a very sweet person, and I always hope that I can portray that whenever I talk to someone. And the fact that you say that I'm very expressive, I've gotten a lot of comments about that I'm very expressive with my face. I don't even know what word that is. With my face. And somebody said the other day I could be good as an actress because I just communicate so many different emotions on my face, and I haven't waved my hands so much in this interview, but I talk with my hands a lot.
Yeah. The best musicians or entertainers or whatever you want to say are the ones that have 50 freaking faces when they're playing on stage. Because those are the ones that you just love to watch, especially like a good drummer that makes those those.
I love seeing drummers when they're in their
zone. Yeah,
like it's awesome. I wish I learned how to play drums. That is awesome. Like when you're like, ooh, and then those drum solos, I'm like, yo, yes, I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah, or guitar faces.
Oh yeah.
Those are like the best. Yeah, those are great. And when singers pull those off as well, that's even more magical because to be able to hold your mouth, spacing and the way you frame your face determines the sound. And if you're still making tons of different faces while you're doing it, it can throw you off. But the ones that pull it off do it well. So you actually are very expressive with your face. But like I said, there's a twinkle behind it too, and you can just see how excited you are to sing. So never lose that passion.
I'm telling you, I left it for 4 years. I'm not doing that again. There's just no way. I already have it like engraved in my head. Like this is what you're going to do for the rest of your life. Like there's no plan B, there's no plan C, plan A, and it's music, and that's what it's gonna be.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm very confident about that.
Yeah, and sometimes that's the best way to be. Just it's this or nothing, and when you have that mindset, things happen.
Yeah.
Too many people in this world have a plan B and a plan C and a backup plan and whatever. No, if you're passionate about something, find any way you can to make it happen.
Yeah.
That's one big thing, what's one big component that I love to push on this show, is, especially with the mental health factor of things, the only way you could truly be happy is by being yourself. You could have the greatest boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, whatever in the world. You can have the best friends in the world, whatever the case might be, but no amount of people, no amount of love that you receive is going to ever make you happy. Yeah. The only person that can ever truly make you happy is yourself. And if you're living a lie, then you're never going to be truly happy. Regardless of how much love that you have around you, you'll never feel it. And that's so, girl, continue doing your passion. Continue doing what you love. Because that smile just speaks 1,000 words right now. So continue doing you.
I will, Derek. I will. I most definitely will.
And we'll keep in touch, and because I want to follow you. Well, we have very similar. We follow in the same crowd, so yeah. I won't lose touch of you. So, but you've got a talent, and I want you to really, really expose that talent.
Thank you. Thank you. I enjoy listening to, people who truly believe that I can get somewhere, and that just pushes me even more. That kind of like fuels me up. I got a tank that is infinite and it's just filling up, and I really appreciate that you see that with my music and with me as a person. So thank you. I'm so happy that I was able to be on this podcast, my first podcast interview. So this is one for the books. This is gonna be a memory for the rest of my life. I always remember, Derek was my first podcast interview, and it was the best interview ever because it felt like 5 minutes, but it was really an hour and a half.
I popped your interview cherry. That makes me feel good. I haven't done that since I was 18.
I'm dead.
If I'm too sincere and too serious for too long, I start getting the shakes and the jokes just start running in the back of my head. It's like I gotta get them out. It's like, but once I start, it's like
drizzle some in there.
once I start, I just start vomiting horrible things. Words just spew out, and I gotta stop myself every once in a while. So if you ever watch an interview with me again, or you ever come back on and you see me pause and look down at my keyboard or look away from the camera, it's that moment of should I or shouldn't I? Most of the time I end up I end up doing it. But that whole moment of silence right before I do it really kind of helps the anticipation. I love the anticipation of it all. So.
Oh yeah, I'm like, what is he gonna say now? What is he gonna say?
You open that door with "You're my first." Oh, there we go.
There we go. That's it.
Joke.
I have to hop on it.
Joke. But no, in all reality, like I said, you're an awesome chick, and I definitely want to keep in touch with you, and we're gonna definitely, yeah.
Definitely. I have your Instagram handle. We'll change information, and this won't be the last time you guys see Nathasha Rumbos on the Suck It podcast.
Better not be. All right, so you guys can follow her at Vocally Tosh on Instagram or at natasharumbos.com. However, don't be like me and forget the silent H. So it's Nathasha. It's like Nath. So
like Nathasha.
Yeah, Nathasha.
You know, my brother actually named me. My brother was the one who named me. He named me after a vampire that he had a crush on.
What vampire was that?
Well, this show that he used to watch, like, when he was younger, and the girl's name was Natasha, and he was like, "Mom, I want my sister to be called Natasha," and that's where I come in.
So, that's a good story.
Yeah.
Because my youngest daughter, my 10-year-old, her name is Isabella, and
You named her after a vampire too?
I did not. And that's where, most people would think. However, my favorite show back in the day, and it's been off the air for about 10 years now, was a show called Scrubs. And one of the lead characters, Donald Faison, his wife and him, are on the show, had a baby named Isabella. And I named her after that character.
Oh.
And the funny part about it was that's a Dominican and a black guy.
Me and your daughter have the similarity that we both got named by TV show characters.
Yes. But mine's much of a weirder story.
Yeah.
But we won't go there. But you enjoy your weekend, or try to at least. I don't know what you're doing, but don't go get COVID.
Yeah, no. There's not much I could do, honestly.
Yeah, don't even go to the beach.
Well, apparently we have a tropical storm coming this weekend, so it's gonna be just rain all weekend.
Oh, great. If y'all are getting it this weekend, I'm getting it sometime next week.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. It'll bring a nice cool breeze with it.
Yeah.
But anyway, again, you're something special, and you need to know that.
Thank you, Derek, and thank you for having me on the show.
You're welcome.
I had a great time.
We'll talk again soon.
Yes, we will.
Alrighty. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, so that was Nathasha Rumbos. Guys, please, if you want to hear more content like that, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button. I do this Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. East, 5 p.m. West. Next week, I got a whole slew of awesome stuff. Please follow me at Suck It Podcast on Instagram and at second_podcast on Twitter. To find out what's going on, I'll announce everything tomorrow. But I got another fun day, and then Monday, come back for another round of Suck It Podcast at 8 p.m. or join me at noon for the Mental Health Hour with Kat Daniels. But until Monday, stay healthy, stay happy, and as always, stay fucking heavy. Peace.